That looks about right. Hey, I'm Jon Thelen. Today on Fish Ed, we're up north, and you know what we're dealing with? We're dealing with the dreaded bug hatch. That deal where no matter what, it seems like you bump into one of them on vacation. It's because you get so many different bug hatches throughout the year, all through the Midwest. And these things can really alter fishing, but there's a way to beat them. And I'm gonna show you a couple of my tricks to do that today. So stay right here. Fish Ed's coming up. This has got to be down. Lost track of it when I threw. Yeah, that fish took it right away. Look at that. You know, sometimes it's easy to lose track a little bit when you flip back behind the boat, and I was paying more attention to where I ended up parking as far as if there was more fish there, and I turned around and boy, normally you can pick these still floats out pretty fast. I mean, they're pretty easy to see out there, but I'll tell you why I couldn't see it. It was gone. I mean, what a great way to start. We just got rolling this morning and came out here today, and we're starting our day basically at a handicap. We're dealing with a situation where there's been a big bug hatch. And I think we've all been here at one point or another where you get to the destination you're going to, whether you're on vacation or you're just out for a day trip or maybe you're fishing a tournament, whatever it may be. You get to where you're going and you got a bug hatch, and that's what's happened to us here. We've got a big bug hatch. That's a great eye to start with right there. But we've got a big nasty bug hatch up here today, and it's happened for the last couple days. But what it's done is made it so that, number one, finding fish is a little bit harder, but maybe even more important than that, getting fish to bite is harder. Because when you get in these situations and these fish get tuned in on something changing, and in this case, what's changed is their food source. Because with this bug hatch, the food source has altered their reactions to what they're doing. There you go, buddy. Look at that fish right there. I'll get him out of here so he can get rolling again right away. There he goes. But here's the thing about this. The food source has changed. And it hasn't changed in the sense that they're now eating bugs. What it's done is it's changed in the sense as far as where they're located. Where the bait is located now has totally changed, and therefore the walleyes have to change their behavior. And here's the thing. 9 times out of 10, you feel like you can just come out to a spot where you caught fish yesterday and they're still going to be there. And I tend to agree with that as long as we have stable seasonal temps and stable weather. But here's the thing, when you get a bug hatch, man, it can change everything. It can change it overnight, and that's exactly what's happened today. And it's taken a little bit for me to get these things figured out and get that fish to go. We're going to talk a little bit about that today, though, because I'll tell you what, if you can unlock this trick or this secret, let me tell you, you can catch fish that nobody else is catching in these bug hatches, and you can actually go out and still have a great day of fishing, even though most people are going to say the bite's off. It comes down to it. I think bobber fishing, float fishing, whatever you want to call it. I could catch as many walleyes as anything else. You know, it's a great technique because you give the fish time to see it. But you know what you also do? You give yourself time to see it. You give yourself time to see that bite and give yourself better opportunity to get hooked up. And when I'm float fishing, the only one I use is a thill. Bottom line, all the different thill floats, doesn't matter what kind you're buying, bubblegum, night and day, America's favorite, the Pro Series, wobble bobber, doesn't matter. They're all made out of the best balsa. And what the best balsa gives you is this. When a fish grabs it and takes it down, it's got the best buoyancy in this combination of flotation, and yet the fish can't feel it. And that's a huge, huge deal because it makes it so that when that bobber goes down, most of the time you're going to get that fish. So all said and done, doesn't matter what you're looking to do, when you're walking through that float aisle and you're trying to decide what bobber to buy, there's no question, it's thill. That's the best one. It's going to help you catch most fish. There he goes. Look at that. Right next to the boat. So many fish right here, right now. I mean, right under the boat. Got him. Saw these fish on the graph I just couldn't pass it up. I mean, I was out here and I was out a ways and I looked at these fish right under the boat and I just couldn't resist just trying to catch them because there were so many of them here. And this is one of the things that happens when you get in these bug hatches too, is the fish will really congregate, because what's happening is all of a sudden there might have been minnows all over this flat. They might have been absolutely everywhere. Ooh, this is a great eye right here too. Look at this one, it's a big fish. Look at this, wow. This is a big eye right here. But there were fish all over this flat, man. That's a heavy fish. That's a big, beautiful female walleye. Wow. This thing's a giant. This is awesome. This is the kind of fish that we're chasing today. Look at that fish. What a big, beautiful walleye. That is just awesome. But here's the thing. These fish, like I was saying, they were scattered all over this flat because the minnows were most likely scattered all over this flat as well. So when they're running all over eating fish like this one right here, there is no reason for this fish to have to be packed up to feed. This fish right here can feed all by itself and find plenty of bait. But the minute all of this bait congregates to go after the bugs, because see, for the most part, I do believe some walleyes are eating some bugs, but I also believe more than anything, here you go, big girl. I also believe more than anything that the walleyes are going and following that bait that's up there eating the bugs. And that's what happened there. That big fish is right here. But here's the other thing. There's a whole bunch of them right here because there's a pot of bugs right here. And where there's a pot of bugs, now those minnows that were roaming all over this flat have now all congregated to eat on that pot of bugs. And now all those walleyes have had to follow those minnows, and here we go. And now you got what you got going there, where all of a sudden I look at the graph and it's just stacked with walleyes. I mean, it was just piled up. So I just reeled back to the boat and I literally dropped right here because my transducer's right here, and that fish bit just like that. I mean, it's that automatic when you get dialed in to the point where they're at, and they're all here because of that bug hatch. You know, as much as location in the water column is important during a bug hatch, another thing that's just huge is understanding that this rock pile that's right back behind me here, the fish aren't necessarily going to be up on that right now. Now, they're going to be up there most days because that's where the bait's hiding. But here's the deal. The bugs don't hatch from hard bottom. They're hatching from soft bottom, and then they basically just float up, hit the surface, and take off. Well, here's the deal. Those minnows will leave that structure and come out here to feed on this, and they bring the walleyes with them. So one of the things you do, and I mean, a lot of times it could be up to 200-300 yards away from that structure. Now today, I'm just 30 yards off the edge. I don't got to go far because I found that softer bottom, and as soon as you find that softer bottom, I'm finding pods of bugs, and once I find those pods of bugs, I'm seeing walleyes, and they're stacked up down below it. And what's happening is they're just looking up. They're just waiting for those minnows swimming around up there and that whole deal to go up and hit. So when I'm dropping that bait down on them, it's pretty automatic. So here's the thing. You want to look for those areas of structure where walleyes should be, but then get off it. Find the soft bottom areas, and you can find that with your sonar. Just watch the bottom colors change, and you're going to know when you're into that soft bottom. Boy, that one bit it quick. Yep, right there. Got him. That's one of the things about when you get turned around to fish, kind of like I did there. Yeah, sometimes work pretty hard to get back to them when you're reeling that slack, and I had to go a long ways to get back to them. Yeah, that feels like another pretty good fish. Man, there's just a lot of nice fish out here on this spot today, and you know, they're out here off that deeper edge, just sitting under these bugs. I mean, I see these clouds of bugs, and when I see them, the fish are always fairly close to them. Yep, another great eye. Ooh, got a little excited there. Kind of brought him up at a strange angle. Look at that. Look at that fish. Another great one. I'll tell you, I know how tempting it is when you hear from your buddies or from the local bait shop that the bugs are hatching and the bite's tough. I know how tempting it is to say, heck with it, I'm just going to stay home today. But if you come out, just make some of the adjustments we talked about today. You can still catch fish, and you can catch fish pretty consistently. The whole key is getting off of those spots where you're always so comfortable, getting out away from it, finding that soft bottom, find where the bugs are hatching. You'll find the minnows right behind them. You'll find eyes like that one right there. What a great fish, man. Is he a pretty one?